there is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. With these haunting words, Albert Camus begins his seminal work, The Myth of Sisyphus. Camus does not mean to shock, but rather to present an undeniable question: if life has no inherent meaning, is it worth living? If the universe is indifferent to us, should we care about it at all? If nothing matters, then what is the point of our struggle, our emotions, our longing for connection? Why do we persist, knowing that one day all our efforts, our dreams, our relationships, will fade into oblivion? The answer, according to Camus, is not despair, but revolt, a conscious rebellion against the absurd. It is an act of defiance, a declaration that despite life's lack of meaning, we will live anyway. That despite knowing our happiness is fleeting, we will still pursue it. That despite recognizing our insignificance in the vast cosmos, we will create, love, and strive as if it all mattered. And in doing so, perhaps, we will find the only meaning that can truly belong to us. Before we go any further, subscribe to our channel for more philosophical thoughts. Let's continue with the video. Absurdism, as Camus defines it, arises from the contradiction between our desire for meaning and the silent, indifferent universe. We seek purpose, patterns, and explanations. We yearn for structure, for fairness, for a grand narrative that will tie everything together. But the world offers none. It simply is. Nature does not comfort us with moral lessons. The universe does not whisper its secrets in our ears. It is vast, cold, and indifferent to our struggles, our victories, and our suffering. This realization can be unsettling. It gnaws at the foundation of everything we believe, forcing us to confront the horrifying possibility that our existence is arbitrary, that the stories we tell ourselves are illusions meant to shield us from the unbearable weight of nothingness. Some might turn to religion for comfort, clinging to the hope that a divine force has ordained a purpose for their suffering. Others might seek distractions in material success, relationships, or hedonistic pleasure, drowning out the existential void with noise and movement. And yet, Camus warns against such escapes. He calls them philosophical suicide, a refusal to confront reality as it is. But what does it mean to confront reality? What does it mean to live with the absurd? The three responses to absurdity. 1. Suicide. Camus rejects suicide as a solution. To him, it is an admission of defeat, a refusal to engage with life's absurdity. It is the ultimate surrender, an act of conceding that because life has no meaning, it is not worth living. But Camus challenges this assumption. He argues that just because life has no universal meaning, does not mean it has no personal meaning. Instead of ending our existence, Camus urges us to face absurdity with courage, to look into the abyss without flinching, and to live anyway. 2. The leap of faith. Søren Kierkegaard suggested a leap of faith, believing in God despite the lack of evidence. In doing so, he argued, one could impose meaning onto life, finding solace in faith despite its irrationality. But Camus saw this as an evasion, a refusal to confront reality. To impose meaning onto an indifferent universe is to lie to oneself. To insist that suffering has a higher purpose, that justice will be served in the afterlife, that love and goodness are eternal truths rather than human constructs, this, Camus believed, was an escape, a way to dull the pain rather than face it. 3. Revolt. Camus' solution is revolt, a conscious decision to live without appeal to higher meaning. This does not mean nihilism. It does not mean that life is pointless or that we should descend into hedonistic excess. Instead, it means living with full awareness of absurdity and still choosing to create, to love, to experience life fully. It means embracing existence not because it leads to some ultimate truth, but because the act of living itself is valuable. It is the realization that although the universe does not care for us, we can still care for ourselves. The ultimate absurd hero. In Greek mythology, Sisyphus was condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down, for all eternity. To most, this would seem like a cruel and meaningless existence. A punishment without redemption, an effort without reward. And yet, Camus suggests otherwise. He famously states, "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." Why? Because Sisyphus knows his fate. He does not hope for escape. He does not waste his energy lamenting his condition or searching for a divine explanation. He embraces his struggle and finds meaning within it. He finds joy in the act of pushing the boulder itself, rather than in the hope of some final success. This is the essence of the absurd hero, not one who seeks meaning, but one who lives despite its absence. How to live with the absurd? If life has no inherent purpose, then we are free to create our own. Camus encourages us to 1. Embrace the present. Stop searching for a future reward. Live fully in the now. Recognize that each moment is all we truly have. Instead of dwelling on the past or anxiously awaiting the future, allow yourself to fully immerse in the present experience. Whether it be a conversation with a friend, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or the simple act of breathing, each moment carries its own intrinsic value. There is no need to justify existence beyond this moment, as this moment is enough. 2. Seek experience over explanation. Don't waste life trying to force meaning. Instead, experience all that it has to offer: love, art, beauty, connection. The human mind craves explanations, yet the world remains indifferent to our inquiries. Instead of spending a lifetime searching for definitive answers, surrender to the richness of experience. Absorb the colors of a sunset without needing to define its purpose. Lose yourself in music, feeling its rhythm and depth without dissecting its intent. Love fiercely, not because it serves a grander scheme, but because love itself is an act of defiance against meaninglessness. 3. Live with passion. Engage deeply in art, love, nature, and relationships, not because they hold ultimate meaning, but because they are worth experiencing. Passion is the flame that keeps us moving forward despite the absurdity of existence. Pour yourself into what excites you. Let creativity, curiosity, and adventure be the guiding forces in your life. When you allow passion to dictate your actions, you remove the burden of seeking meaning and instead find fulfillment in the act of simply doing, whether that be painting, traveling, learning, or loving. 4. Defy the absurd with joy. Laugh at the meaninglessness of it all. Find joy in the very struggle of existence, rather than seeking an external justification for it. Life's absurdity is not a reason for despair, rather, it is an invitation to laugh at the cosmic joke. When we acknowledge the irrationality of existence, we gain the freedom to live without constraint. Take pleasure in life's unpredictability. Celebrate small victories, revel in moments of absurd humor, and recognize that, in the end, the only rational response to an irrational world is to meet it with a smile. So where does this leave us? If life is meaningless, if the universe does not care, then we are truly free. Free to live without false hopes. Free to create meaning rather than search for it. Free to be like Sisyphus, smiling as we push our burdens up the hill. The struggle itself toward the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. So, stop searching for cosmic answers. Instead, live. Love. Rebel. Find joy in the struggle itself. Because in the end, that is the closest thing to meaning we will ever know. This is the Beyond the Surface channel. Like the video, share it with a friend and subscribe for more videos like this one on philosophical thoughts. Thank you for watching.